Yeah. So he said that peace protesters in America are idiots, and said they're, quote, useful idiots, and they're being funded by Tehran.
Oh, we got to get to that. We have that.
So I'll get to that in a second. So he comes into our house and he calls us idiots. Says, you idiots, give me more money. We've already given Israel $300 billion, but it's not enough. And then he mentions those poor kids in the attic. It's heartbreaking. But was your heart broken when you murdered 15,000 Palestinian children? So nearly 40,000 dead in Gaza now, almost the entire 2.3 million population displaced. And this monster, you want to talk about evil, Netanyahu is one of the most evil men of my lifetime, murdered 15,000 children, but thinks, who cares? They're Palestinians, they're Muslims, they're Christians, their lives don't matter at all. I'll just murder their kids nonstop. And then I'll get these, you want to talk about useful idiots, these schmucks that I purchased with AIPAC, and I'll get them to applaud me. Come on, little children that I purchased, go ahead, get up and applaud how I murdered 15,000 kids. By the way, most of the Republicans standing ovation, and those are the ones pretending to be pro-life. They're giving a standing ovation to this butcher who murdered 15,000 kids. You're not pro-life at all. You're pro-money. AIPAC purchased that Congress and handed it to Netanyahu, and then he used it to insult the American people.
Yeah.
Our representatives are disgusting. All right, let's break it down. So almost every human rights organization and press organization in the world says it's actually one of the worst civilian to fighter ratios in our lifetimes. The number of buildings bombed, number of people out of a home, the number of civilians killed per capita, in every measure, one of the worst in our lifetimes. He's now competing with Bashar al-Assad, the butcher in Syria, for who's the biggest butcher in the history of our lifetimes in the Middle East. So everything he said there was a lie. Endless war crimes, war crime after war crime after war crime, shooting more journalists than in any other conflict, killing more human rights workers than in any other conflict. And his idea of a moral army is, we accidentally destroyed almost every building in Gaza. We accidentally made 2.3 million Gazans homeless and destitute and in refugee camps. We accidentally killed nearly 40,000 people, but we meant to just to kill the fighters. We're so moral, just golly gee, we're the most incompetent loser military of all time. And we just keep bombing civilians after civilians and murdering their children after children after children. It was all a mistake. And then those losers, I want every one of those losers to be driven from Congress. You see those dogs? We gave $300 billion to Israel in our lifetimes. And they commit these war crimes on our behalf, and they come and call Americans idiots for protesting them and not sending the check quickly enough. And then these dogs of AIPAC sit there and go, yes. Jesus Christ. And then he says, I'm for civilization. Are you? And I don't know anyone who's done more damage to Israel, including Hamas, than Benjamin Netanyahu. Because Hamas can't make the world hate you. Hamas can do terrible damage as they did on October 7th, but only Netanyahu can get the world to hate them. He's rubbing it in everybody's faces. I'll kill anyone I like, and I own America. Look at these servants of mine. I'm getting them to give me standing ovations after they gave me $26 billion, and after I didn't listen to a word they said. And then he says, give me money so I can finish the job quicker. Do you have a final solution for the Palestinians? And then we send money for that? And then these pathetic losers that pretend to be our representatives, but are actually the representatives of any donor and lobbyist that comes by, applaud them for that? Yeah, finish the Palestinians quicker. They disgust me.
I know.
Yeah, so look, this idea that the protesters are in America are being funded by Iran is a lunatic conspiracy theory. One of the dumbest, most inaccurate conspiracy theories of all time. And you see idiots on cable news saying it without a shred of evidence. Not one piece of evidence ever presented. Because they don't, as long as it's Israeli propaganda, they will repeat it endlessly. Oh, Netanyahu says, and did you hear what he just said? He said, for all we know, they might be funded by Iran. Because even he can't say with a straight face that they have any evidence at all. And get a load of this great, overwhelming irony that all of mainstream media missed. There is somebody in that building that is funded by a foreign government. There's actually a lot of people. It's Congress. Congress is funded by AIPAC. AIPAC is theoretically American citizens that are giving money because they love Israel and they want American Congress to serve Israel above America. That is the point of AIPAC. It's American Israel Political Action Committee. Israel is in the name. Another PAC is called Democratic Majority for Israel. For Israel. So they want you to gaslight you into thinking, oh no, it's wrong to say that these guys have all been purchased. The largest donor for Mike Johnson, AIPAC. Largest donor for Chuck Schumer, AIPAC. Largest donor for Joe Biden, AIPAC. Largest donor for Donald Trump to the tune of $200 million. The Adelson family, who said you must do what Israel wants for foreign policy, and Trump did. He moved our embassy. He literally gave out US foreign policy for checks from Israel, right-wing Israeli supporters here in America. So these guys all, it is inarguable that they serve Israel. So don't come here and tell me, oh, there might be foreign funding for peace protesters who would like to keep America out of the war that you're funding by buying our Congress. Yeah, there's a foreign influence in this country, and it's Israel. And there's overwhelming evidence. All this money's on the record. Hundreds of millions of dollars on the record. Meanwhile, there's zero evidence of Iran. What? Yeah, because Iran really wants peace. And so that's their crazy. If you ever see a single anchor telling you that Iran is funding these protesters, know that they're giant liars and they're propagandists for Israel.
Okay, I want to go to graphic 9 because let's actually show you the receipts. Let's talk about actual numbers and figures here. So let's look at the pro-Israel lobby donations to Chuck Schumer. That amounts to more than $1.7 million through the lifetime of his political career. Let's go to the next one. You have Mitch McConnell. Nearly $2 million from the pro-Israel lobby to Mitch McConnell. Hakeem Jeffries has taken a healthy sum from the pro-Israel lobby as well, more than $1.5 million. I mean, the list goes on and on. Mike Johnson, as you were referring to, Cenk, has taken nearly $500,000 from the pro-Israel lobby.
Mike Johnson has not been around as long as Schumer and McConnell. So he's just getting started. His #1 donor is AIPAC. So gee, like I had a conservative ask me on social media, like it sounded earnest. He's like, I don't get it. Republicans, we're MAGA, we're America first. Why are all these Republican congressmen bowing down to Netanyahu? I'm like, brother, I don't know if you know this, but you think it's just Democrats that take money from donors? They're all bought by big pharma, big oil, every single donor. AIPAC just happens to be top 10. And yeah, Mike Johnson and Mitch McConnell, their top donors are AIPAC. It's not complicated. They're all doing it for the money. They don't. And by the way, Israel doesn't like Netanyahu. We have polling that Anna's going to show you in a second. The only people left in the whole world who like Netanyahu are people who are bought by AIPAC. And that's almost the entire United States Congress. Although to be fair, a lot of Democrats sat it out. We'll tell you that in a second as well.